YouTubers, welcome back for another adventure. This past Friday, I went out to the Connecticut Antique Machinery Association show. It's their fall show. And other than looking at a lot of cool equipment, I mean, diesel, steam engine, all that kind of stuff, a lot of cool exhibits, well worth the trip just to see that kind of stuff. They have kind of a swap meet, and I like that swap meet because things there are a little different than most. There are less of the $1 bargains, though I did manage to find these. I think these were 6 for $5, and I think this pile of junk was $2 or $3. I've been needing bushings and shims for some of the projects I needed, so I grabbed those, and light switches. I like to put those flicker light bulbs in these. Cool for Halloween. So the $1 stuff. I consider this an amazing find. I went $5 on this, and you guys could see, Honda motors. This is a toolkit, including the under the seat mount for an old Honda 3-wheeler. And I mean, everything's there, including the bracket. So for $5, this was a crazy good deal. This is an electric scissor jack, right? Plug it into the lighter, up and down. He wanted $25 for it. I ended up giving him $20. I've been wanting one of these for a while. Frequently, just crazy handy for if you have to pop something up a little bit and put stands underneath it and then get that out of the way, right? Yeah, I've been after one of those for a while, and now I finally have one. Also at the show, it's kind of a donation booth where people bring their stuff, drop it off, and they have various volunteers who are part of the association kind of sell the stuff off to help fund, right? These people didn't necessarily want to set up themselves, so they just kind of put a pile of stuff out. And it's cool to keep going back to that particular spot because he's always getting like new stuff as the day wears on. Maybe people get tired of looking at it as they're trying to sell it off. I don't know. Anyway, like this, it's all rusty, probably sat in the bottom of a boat, hyper tough. I think this is a Tractor Supply. Anyway, so I bought this. This is Husky, right? It's missing the driver, but it has all the bits there. And somehow you can get in there. But it has all the bits. I picked up this. This is a couple of different size cutting discs. By the way, if you play with these, make sure you protect your eyes. And I grabbed the bag so I could carry it all away. Anyway, I went $7 on this. And now for my biggest expenditure of the day. Somebody donated this motor. He asked $50 for it. I gave him $40. You guys could see it's off the Craftsman, 16.5 horsepower, overhead valve engine. This was cut from somebody's garden tractor. I think they were scrapping it out, so they just cut it loose, and here it is. The throttle cable's also just cut right on off. I checked it. It does seem to have compression, and it looks like it's in really nice shape. I have this Craftsman Tractor that I've been fishing around for an engine for. Some of you guys are familiar with the story. I found that Briggs that a mouse moved into, turned it into quite the mouse hotel. So I don't want to use that one. The Kohler here appears to be somewhat of a loser also from a cosmetic point of view, not necessarily from a functionality point of view. So given that both those engines look like junk, and quite honestly, I think the Briggs is going to self-destruct because there's not enough aluminum left after all the corrosion from the mouse droppings. I've been kind of sniffing around for an engine, and I think I found it in that 16 and a half horsepower Briggs. I also like those engines, so hopefully it'll do me well. As a matter of fact, I think we're going to try to give it a little start now. So I checked it to see if the starter was with us, and you guys see what I see, right? I mean, just nastiness here. So mouse nest is problem number 1. Problem number 2, this wire works its way over and it operates that solenoid on the bottom of the carburetor, and when you plug it in here, you should hear a click, right? No click. So I'm not thinking that's working. The starter is working and it's making a putt-putt sound. So I'm thinking that it will start with starting fluid, right? There's a cold start. So let's give it a shot and see what happens. So I checked the oil. Actually, I added oil. There was none in it. I think that's choke on. Remember, just a hoot'll do ya. Wish me luck. Wow, that gets hot quick. So it seems that I got something going on. So the relay here is not clicking at all, and I did put gas into it, but I think it's only starting and running on the starting fluid. I'm going to pull this cover off and get the mouse nest out of there. You guys don't need to see that. By the way, this whole thing is a tad sketchy. I think I'm at a maximum with 2 engines on there. Anyway, I'm going to clean it up. I'd really, really like to use this engine. I don't know if these starting solenoids are all the same from engine to engine. Well, that one doesn't have one. And I saw some people actually bypass them. They get them out of there. I'll have to look into that too. One could just have this thing cut down that as you're bringing the throttle down, you go too slow and it idles itself to a stall. Right? We don't need no stinking solenoid. Well, that's about that. So I paid $40 for this engine. I got a buddy out in Connecticut who does scrap cleanups, and he's always got a million tractors. Hopefully this one's not, it doesn't look rotted, doesn't smell like mice, so hopefully they didn't raise 14 generations in there, which by the way only takes them like 6 months, I think. Let me get it cleaned up. I think this is the last you'll see of it until I bolt it up and get it on the machine and actually get it running. And in the meantime, I'd like to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Please remember to keep your feet down, your heads up, and get out and enjoy each and every day. Bye now.